they talking real loud. Spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right. Hello, Buckhorse DC. Danny Joe is in the building. G from the land. Greta is here. Trisha, 57 Beige Fox. Nene. All right, let's get into it. Songwriter Sunny. All right, Nessa G. All right, Lana, Leon is here. Okay, let's get into it. Everybody hit that like button. I see you, Desmond. All right, shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen, and a big shout out to my moderators because y'all know they put in work. I see you, we the people. Okay, Pretty Wings. Paul is here. Andrea. Okay, so now before we get started, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. I see you, Dangerous. All right, here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
So with that all being said, don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. And don't forget that she also sells beard oil. All right, so let's get into it because, honey, Trump wants President Obama locked up. Here he is with the same BS yet again. Now, he was up in the wee hours of the night, as I told you all, he often does. And that's a sign of dementia, by the way. Someone who can't sleep at night, they're always up late. Anyway, with that being said, he was posting like 55 posts at least within a 3-hour span. Okay, calling for the arrest of President Barack Hussein Obama. That's what he called him. Okay, so anyway, we'll get into that in a second. But before we do, let's go to some other news. Okay, so the Black inventor by the name of Julian Brown, he explains when he or why he intentionally doesn't patent his technology. Now, he learned from the inventor of the wireless car key fob, who had 70 patents, but still had his invention stolen by GM. Okay, Brown says a patent just gives big companies a blueprint, okay, to copy your idea. And then you can't afford the legal fight. Because think about it, somebody like GM and you're just a regular, everyday, average person, how can you fight them in court? You don't have the resources. Okay, and so that all been said, and often these attorneys don't want to go up against them, okay, because they just feel like they can't win. Okay, and they know it's going to be a tedious task. But with that all being said, all right, Nubia Ra. So with that all being said, he has not patented his work, and that's likely a good idea because when you patent something, you have to put uh how you put it together, how you made it, or whatever, how you created it, and so that just really gives them the blueprint, like he said. Okay, so I think he's absolutely right not to patent his idea because they can steal it regardless. Now, that being, and these big companies absolutely do that, specifically the people who look like me. Okay, that's what they do. Now, with that all being said, let's go to some of the perverts of the week. Okay, first of all, for 8 years, Ashley St. Clair has, now this is what she has said. Okay, she was a paid soldier inside MAGA. Okay, the MAGA influence machine, posting from Mar-a-Lago, coordinating talking points, and building the infrastructure of right-wing online outrage. Okay, but I want you to think about how this is all what Trump claims the left is doing. This is what his administration says, as if they're trying to rage bait or race bait, things like that, or trying to talk about violence. But Trump calls for violence. There's a lady that posted just days ago that Trump basically, it was something about her son. I'll have to go to the clip because I definitely have it. But anyway, I'm just saying Trump has called for violence on more than one occasion. Okay. Now she's on TikTok releasing the screenshots. Okay. White House officials, private group chats, thousands of dollars per post deposited to personal bank accounts behind NDAs. Now she estimates 99% of the largest right-wing influencers are compensated, and none of it is disclosed because courts have ruled political speech doesn't require the same transparency as commercial advertising. Okay, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is a confession from someone who ran the operation. The logistical leftist breaks down exactly how the MAGA influence machine works and what happens when one of its architects finally talks. Okay, we're going to watch that because I have the video. It's like 10 minutes long. We're going to watch it. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Now, meanwhile, you have Laura Ingraham here talking about how Satan Yahoo. She said that he took the journalist's phone on that interview that he just did days ago, how he picked up the journalist's phone and then said something along the lines of, and I'm not going to show her because she's with iHeart and I don't want to copyright claim, but basically said that he took the person's phone, the reporter's phone, and then talked about how he could take the phone and just turn anyone into a monster. Okay, just by things that he says, and if he says it long enough, people will start to believe it. And he's right, because that's exactly what he does. Now, when he made that talking point, he was trying to say that's what's going on with his people, that's what people are doing to It's Not Real, spreading propaganda. But I haven't seen anyone spreading propaganda about them. I've only seen people telling the truth about what's going on over there in the West Bank and Lebanon. I mean, that's what I've seen. If you all seen something different that's propaganda, let me know, because I've only seen truth. Okay, now with that all being said, Here is a clip of Trump probably telling lies as per usual. Okay, so let's hear what he's talking about.
When you're negotiating with Iran, Mr. President, to what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all. That's the only thing that motivates.
Trump sounds so stupid because, first of all, they didn't have nuclear weapons or capability prior to him starting this war, and nor was the Strait of Hormuz closed. Okay, so this is what you call working backwards. Hustling backwards is what they call it. All right. So anyway, with that all being said, hold on, beloveds. So Chud the Builder got arrested. Now they said he's out here apologizing and copping pleas and begging people for forgiveness. Like, dude, get the F out of here. Okay. And then did you all hear about the black lady who said that I didn't show you all the video because it was a little too risque, because she literally showed what she used when she tickled his prostate, no less. But this lady came out exposing him because she said that he's put something out there that he was raw dogging her or something like that. And so she came out and admitted to it. And she said, yeah, she used to kick it with him, but basically she was being paid to tickle his prostate. Okay, because that's what she does apparently. And she said there was more people who've done stuff like that with him or whatever. So I just find it all interesting and quite frankly disgusting. I mean, it was really TMI as far as I was concerned. But as long as he's embarrassed, that's a good thing. But hold on, I want you all to hear what she says about him now, because this was juicy. Hold on, this was some juicy information that she divulged. And if it's true, which I think it absolutely is, it's quite interesting. Hold on. Hold on. Where is that clip? Yeah, and so this little white boy called a black kid the N-word, and then his father was talking to the black kid's parents, and his father went in on him or whatever. But the question is, where did he get that word from, and why did he think it's okay for him to use it at 6 or 7 years old? I know he wasn't any older than 10. Okay, I found that interesting. But hold on. Listen to this. This is former Utah judge Kevin Christensen, charged with 8 counts of child sexual abuse. He's pled to 3 counts and faces up to 15 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Not an immigrant, not a drag queen, not undocumented. He is, however, an elected Republican official. See, I keep telling y'all about these MAGA minions. I just keep telling y'all. Every single case he's ever heard should be reviewed and reconsidered. I'm hopeful the abused children get the care and support they need and deserve. That's him. It's always MAGA. I told y'all they do this on a regular. Nurse and mom raped and killed by ex-boyfriend in 7-hour-long recorded attack. Now, this is awful. So here's what they say. 43-year-old Catherine Kat Tarbick, a dedicated gastroenterology nurse and loving mother, was tortured for over 7 hours by her ex-boyfriend, Kevin Motke, 56 years old, in Schaumburg, Illinois. Now, audio captured her begging for her life while he's sexually assaulting her, beating, bound, and strangled her. Now, they had a 10-year history, including prior domestic violence. Absolutely nefarious. So Motke is now charged with first-degree murder and aggravated sexual assault. He's been held without bail. No woman should ever have to beg the man that she once loved to stop hurting her. This is a nightmare. Too many women live in silence. And there she is right there. He looks like he did it. Here we have another low-down, dirty scumbag. This is a rabbi from Dallas, Texas, responsible for spreading false October 7th grape claims. Now he's been arrested for sexually assaulting and raping a little American boy. Okay, that's him right there. They're probably going to give him a one-way ticket back to the other side of the world. Y'all know how they do. Okay, now let's listen to Trump right here. I have to find that video for you all to see. It says to African Americans concerned that this is going to draw Black members of Congress off the map. What do you say? Oh, I want to hear this.
To voters who are confused about the changing maps, the changing dates, and to African Americans concerned that this is going to draw Black members of Congress off the map, what do you say?
Well, I think it's been a wonderful process. They've been the Democrats, or as I call the Democrats, because they are dumb in so many ways. They've redistricted for years, and now we took our shot, and it looks like we're going to pick up a lot of seats, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We want voters to have their choice. We want fair voting. We want fair elections. The Democrats have been cheating on elections for many years, and all we're doing is winning. Thank you.
He said the Democrats have been cheating on elections for many years, and all we want is to win. Like, sit down somewhere. Nobody's been cheating. Okay, nobody's been cheating. That's what they haven't been doing. Now, did I send that video? Oh, here it is right here. How did I keep passing?
Almost 100K on his.
Hold on.
What do you know? I got some more tea on Chud the Builder, and y'all aren't gonna believe this shit. Almost 100K on his GoFund. What happened? What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Lily Venus, and I am live in the flesh with an update on Chud the Builder. Do y'all like my cowboy hat? What are you gonna say? I'm defending him because I got a fucking cowboy hat on, stupid bitches. Anyway, sorry. That was to all the idiots yesterday on my shit. But if you are new here, yes, I did personally talk to Chud the Builder, and he was nice to me. And of course he was nice to me because I fucking knew him before he was Chud. Literally. Not just me. There are several people that are now coming clean that, hey, we used to kick it with this guy. But guess what? Dalton has passed away. Moment of silence for Dalton. He has passed away. Dalton has been dead for a while now. We are not looking at Dalton. The body is Dalton, but the spirit is Chud. And guess what? You want to know what I found out? Your favorite politicians, your local doctors, and your local lawyers are sponsoring him, which is why, once again, I told you guys, don't chimp out. Don't fucking react, because this is all a psyop. First of all, look at the fucking name, Chud the Builder. If you know anything about Freemasonry, I don't even need to say anymore. Like, it's a psyop. It's a fucking psyop to push the New World Order, Agenda 2030, to incite a race war. So every time y'all do something, you're helping them. You're helping them push their agenda a little bit further. And the reason why he's now acting out against his own people, white people, is because he needs to become so nationally known that when somebody does take him out, and if it's one of us, there's your race war. But y'all are so fucking stuck on me telling y'all to not react and coming at me for looking sleepy after I worked a 22-hour shift, telling me I need to be raped and killed because I'm asking you to not react to this bullshit. But yeah, go ahead and react while you do it, please. That's just going to inspire our politicians and doctors and lawyers to give him more money. Don't believe me? Look at the fucking GoFund and research all the names that gave him money.
Okay, and I don't think she's lying. I don't think she's lying at all. That sounds very plausible. And here's the thing. If you all remember, I told you all that a good friend of mine told me previously, before the debacle that happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, they basically said that what was I going to say? I'm sorry, I was thinking about Kevin Hart and that whole thing where they said it's racist. We got to get into that too. But basically, at the end of the day, that sounds plausible because I told you all that a good friend of mine basically said that they would get a Black person, program them to take out Trump, so that would incite a race war. Okay, and the man that they're saying did it was half Black, supposedly. Okay, I just want y'all to pay attention, because these are the tactics that the devils absolutely do use. Okay, in my opinion. Now, with that all being said, let's get into it, because Trump wanting Obama to go to jail, which is where he needs to be. Okay, if anybody belongs in prison, it would have to be Trump, as far as I'm concerned. Now, let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Here we go, right here. Oh, first of all, let's go to the video that he posted. The AI generated video that Trump posted.
AI-generated video showing former President Barack Obama being arrested and placed inside a prison cell. The viral deepfake video spread rapidly online as Trump amplified explosive allegations from Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, who claims Obama-era officials led a treasonous conspiracy against Trump after the 2016 election. Trump escalated the controversy further by posting messages demanding Obama's arrest, while accusing his administration of orchestrating a political coup tied to the Russia investigation. Supporters say the newly declassified documents expose years of efforts to sabotage Trump's presidency, while critics argue the allegations recycle unproven conspiracy theories without legal evidence. The OWL video has now triggered fierce debate across America, with experts warning that realistic deepfake political content could dangerously blur the line between propaganda and reality during one of the country's most divisive political eras. Donald Trump.
Okay, did you all hear that? So basically, Trump posted that video and it looked like he got such a kick out of it. Did you see the look on his face while they were throwing Obama to the floor? How he was just sitting there smiling? Anyway, let's continue. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance, beloveds. Here we go.
Donald Trump posted dozens of times on Truth Social calling for President Obama's arrest, calling President Obama the most, quote, demonic force in American politics, suggesting that President Obama received $120 million from Obamacare, and more in a lengthy tirade that spanned over 30 posts in a matter of minutes. It's not a surprise to see the president struggle to stay awake during the day when he's up all night, ranting on Truth Social and reposting just absurd claims. None of his claims are actually true. And the reason I even make these videos are because for years, the right attacked President Biden for not being fully fit to serve. Staying up all night and posting radical claims, calling for the arrest of President Obama, saying that President Obama is treasonous, all of these things. I mean, that is, any media personnel should look at that and say, that's not fully fit either. And this is not a just let Trump be Trump moment. Presidents should be held to a higher standard. Spread the word, follow for more. Overnight, Donald Trump posted dozens of...
I mean, he's really obsessed with President Obama. Okay, everybody should realize that by now. And it's like so pathetic. Like, move on with your life. And the sad thing is, for anyone that's wondering, this is a further...
Trump went on a late night tirade again.
This further proves that money does not make you happy. Because with all the money and billions that Trump has and the power that he has, unfortunately for the rest of us, but at the end of the day, he should be happy. He should literally be on cloud nine, but he's always mad. He's always angry. He's always hating on someone. He's always up to nefariousness. He's always operating on such a low vibrational spectrum. Okay, he can't help himself. He just cannot help himself, period.
His predecessor, Barack Obama, calling for him to be arrested and tried for treason, sharing a post labeling him demonic. Obama departed office almost a decade ago. The sitting president amplified a post demanding the Democrat face trial for treason. One post explored the conspiracy theory suggesting Obama deployed federal resources to surveil Trump before the 2016 election, something Trump has previously called the biggest political crime in American history by far. Responding to Trump's social media outburst, one ex-user observed, anyone who believes any of this stuff belongs in a psychiatric ward for real. We have a madman in the White House. Trump went on a late-night tirade against his predecessor, Barack Obama, calling for
Not a madman in the White House. This is exactly what he is. That's exactly what he is, a whole fool.
like 30 times on Truth Social last night in the course of a minute or two, ranting about how former President Obama should be arrested and how he's a demon and how he made $120 million off Obamacare. And of course, none of that's true. And the fact that I have to even say none of that's true is astounding to me in today's world. But the reality is there are people who believe this and believe him, believe he's perfectly rational and sane. And this is rational and sane behavior and the type of behavior that a president of the United States should be engaging in. I mean, it's got me questioning my own sanity. Like, did I wake up in some sort of alternate timeline, or am I dreaming or in a coma, or maybe I died during COVID and this is hell? It is absolute lunacy. And I can't even get my head around it. Something about it. Have a good day. Peace. He posted something like 30 times on Truth Social last night in the course of a minute.
He said in the course of a minute or two. It was a little bit longer than that, but nonetheless, I mean, to be making post after post, it really shows a disturbed mind. Like, do y'all really think this is normal? I mean, even though we know that he's a hater, he's so envious and all of that, this is just not normal behavior.
My lord, I want to set out a trigger warning for anybody who doesn't want to spend their morning consuming straight AI slop, because the President of the United States went on a Truth Social rampage last night, a mental breakdown in the most literal sense. Donald Trump posted 55 times in the course of 3 hours during the middle of the night on Truth Social. And once again, I want to give a trigger warning, not because there's anything like bloody or violent in there, but because the posts get increasingly deranged with layers of racism and misogyny. He calls for Obama to be arrested and incarcerated immediately. I mean, this one he posted just an hour ago. Hakeem Low IQ Jeffries, his district, and it's just an incredibly offensive photo of what looks to be like a third world country, right? And then it's Hakeem Jeffries standing in front of some sort of makeshift White House with money around him. What is happening here? Then we continue to go down. Look at this. JB is too busy to keep Chicago safe. This is our president posting these memes all throughout the night. This is just egregious. What the hell? He then posts the $100 bill with his face on it. This is just a manic breakdown in the most literal sense. He then brags about the stock market, talks about Iranian shit. Whoa. See, this is all insane. Democrats love sewage. There is absolutely no way the president of the United States is comfortable just posting this. We're going to continue with the string of bizarre posts, but I want to back up a little bit and talk about the surrounding context, because remember, Trump fell asleep in the Oval Office just yesterday and then ends up posting 55 times overnight. Maybe the reason why he can't stay awake on the job is because he's posting like this throughout the entire night. I mean, these clips were going incredibly viral, and the White House came out and said that we're lying and that Trump is actually just blinking in this. I swear, the White House official account said people need to stop attacking the president for just blinking during meetings. I don't think he's blinking here. The only thing he's blinking in is the war with Iran. Oh my lord. I want to set out a trigger warning for any
So they want us to stop talking about him, period. Okay, that's what they want, but it's okay for him to call reporters piggy, for him to call them bitchs and everything else. But nobody's supposed to say a word. Like, please make it all make sense. Okay, please make it all make sense. They sound ridiculous. Okay, they sound ridiculous. Greta said sleeping on the job. You know it. Can't keep his eyes woke. Open. Everyone, I'm Dr. Ahmadiyyah Shakur. So Trump was up in the wee hours of the night while everyone else was asleep, making repeated posts about President Obama needing to be jailed. Let's get into it. Now, first of all, he called Obama a traitor and then said that he should be charged with treason. And he talked about Senator John Kennedy basically saying that he wants Obama arrested unless he pays back $120 million that he got through Obamacare. Now, let's hold on right there for a second, because Trump needs to sit down somewhere. He's the last one who should call anyone a traitor. He's the last one who should mention the word treason. Okay. And as far as it pertains to money, ill-gotten gains while someone is in the presidency, well, he should be talking about himself. Okay. Because look at all of the grifts that he has been involved in since he's been in the White House this current time. Okay, not to mention his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is currently under investigation. Okay, let's not even talk about all the money that Don Jr. and Eric have acquired as well. Okay, and Barron, mind you. Let's not even get into the insider trading that is allegedly going on when people have known about certain things thanks to him. Okay, let's not forget about the market manipulation, which is absolutely illegal. Let's not talk about the war crimes and all the other things. Let's not even get into the credible accusations in the Epstein files and how many times his name was in fact mentioned. If anyone needs to be in jail, it's Donald Trump. Okay. I mean, he can hate on President Obama all he wants. It's really sad that this man is still on his mind after all of this time has passed. It lets you know how insecure and inferior he absolutely feels when it comes to President Barack Hussein Obama, as he called him. Yeah, he literally used his whole name. That's when you know you have someone pressed and stressed. Please pay attention. There's a whole list of reasons as to why we can all see that he's envious of President Obama. But the bottom line is this. He's currently pressed and stressed right now because he's gotten us into this war with Iran against our will, mind you. And at the end of the day, he doesn't know how to get out of it because Bibi Netanyahu is pulling all the strings, in my opinion. Now, I can't substantiate that, but I absolutely believe it to be true. Okay, that's who's really dealing all the cards and who's calling all the shots. Now, that being said, Trump is pressed because he can't get back the deal that Obama already got. You know, the one he ripped up. And now he's sitting here so desperate, but he's not going to get that same deal. He should have kept everything in place when it was in place. But see, his angst and his hate and disdain and envy for President Obama led him to make that foolish decision. And now here he is. Okay, let's see how it all works out for him. Okay, please pay attention. And also, one thing I'd like to say to Trump is you need to be careful what you wish for. Okay, when you dig one ditch, you better dig two, because the first one you dug just might be for you. All I'm saying is he's sitting here wishing and hoping and praying that Obama lands in prison. Well, that might be where he lands one of these good old days, especially if anything's ever done about the Epstein accusations. Okay, please pay attention. You know, and the funny thing is that Trump is even more bothered by President Obama than Pete Kegsbreath is by Senator Mark Kelly. Yeah, he's definitely so envious of Mark Kelly because at the end of the day, Senator Mark Kelly has so many accolades and accomplishments, and he's very competent, okay, in everything that he ever did, from being an astronaut to being a senator to being in the military and all of that. But Kegsbreath, no less, is not qualified or competent for anything, not to mention those nefarious essay allegations, okay, that he paid quietly to try to keep under wrap, but we all still found out, not to mention he's a whole lush. I mean, when you just look at Trump and his entire administration, yeah, I could see why they're all upset and mad at all of these other politicians who are much more capable, competent, and well respected, more so than them. Okay, please pay attention. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Okay, Trump needs to sit down somewhere. Now, mind you, when he goes on his trip to China, do you all know who's going with him? Please pay attention. He's going to be accompanied by a delegation of top U.S. CEOs, primarily representing tech, finance, and manufacturing. Okay, and here's the thing. With the tech, I do believe that they're taking them, this is just my opinion, but taking them to likely try to get China on board with the censoring on TikTok, no less, because we know Larry Ellison is in control of it on this side. Okay, he's bought into it, and he's one of BB's people. So, quite frankly, he's already implemented some different things, and people's videos are coming down left and right, mind you. But anyway, he's taken these tech people, finance and manufacturers. Okay, key figures include Elon Musk, Tim Cook from Apple, Larry Fink from BlackRock, mind you, and Stephen Schwarzman from Blackstone. Okay, I find that interesting. Now, the delegation, which reportedly includes 17 executives, is part of a high-stakes trip focused on trade, AI, and security issues like the war in Iran. Yeah, and so some other notable people they're taking are Cristiano Amon from Qualcomm, Jane Fraser from Citi, the CITI, Ryan McIlnery from Visa, okay, Dina Powell McCormick from Meta, Kelly Ortberg from Bowie. Okay, yeah. And then you have Sanjay Mehrotra from Micron. They say Cisco CEO Chuck Robbins was invited but did not attend. And then NVIDIA's Jensen Huang was not on the list. So they're supposed to be leaving today. I guess they already left because they're supposed to be there from the 12th through the 15th. I just wonder what all that is about, but I find it interesting. But let's continue. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Mega are saying that Obama went north and committed a maple espionage in the fog or some shit like that. And apparently there's a Logan Act that was enacted in 1799 that goes against this and that incriminates this. Now, when they said Logan, the first thing I thought about for some reason was Wolverine from the Marvel movies. But for some reason, all this just makes me think about Sean Strickland, because holy shit, like the sweepstakes were tossed into a blender and put on maximum settings. And he actually rejected to fight at the White House for various reasons that I'm not going to get into. But I'm kind of going to switch gears again, because why with Alex Barrera? Because Alex Barrera recently was at the White House and shook hands with Trump, and Trump is like, that's a frickin' gigantic, powerful hand. And why? When every time he stands next to someone, it's like they forgot to resize the final bus, because Barrera is bigger than everyone he stands next to. And he fought at middleweight. And when he just did a face-off with Cyril Gunn, he was bigger than Cyril.
I don't know what the hell he was talking about. I'm sorry I even chose that video. Okay, I clearly didn't watch it. But he was all over the place, mind you. Okay, he was all over the place. If he's being hacked, the FBI should investigate. Who? You mean Trump? Trump is not being hacked, honey. Trump's doing that stuff himself. You can tell by the language of the posts, because I have a friend who thinks that Trump is not posting those things. He thinks that someone in his administration is the one that does that for him. No, that's Trump doing that. Okay, nobody else is that foolish and stupid. Nobody else would post 55 posts in a span of 3 hours about the same person. And if you all remember, it was just a couple of months ago that I reported to you how I was up late one night and I was on Truth Social watching what Trump was posting. And I literally saw him, and I showed you all some of the posts where he was posting 40 posts in an hour. 40 posts in an hour. That's almost one post per minute. Okay, so that's definitely Trump. That's nobody else.
Y'all come in for a minute. So I was just reading, I might be a little late by 24 hours, where our president posted on Truth Social that he wanted former President Obama arrested. Now, we the people are more concerned about these gas prices, and we the people would like lower gas prices. We the people would like lower food costs. We the people would like more affordable housing. And we the people would like some of this BS to stop so that we can live in peace. We're not concerned about an alleged treason in 2016. We're concerned about the now. What's happening right now? I'm just saying.
And Obama didn't commit any treason anyway. Like, they really need to sit down and give it all a rest. Okay, and this guy said he was calling for Trump and Hillary. Anyway, we're going to move on after this.
Clinton for treason. Be very clear what's happening here. He's having a systematical meltdown right in front of the nation because, one, he's got a lot of problems. How do I know? Because he's had several MRIs over the last 15 months. Now, I'll be honest with you. I didn't understand what that meant. I didn't know the difference between a CAT scan and an MRI until this month. Because this month, I had a small stroke. I'm okay. I got very lucky. But the reason I understand this is because I had a CAT scan, and I had an MRI. And in both cases, the MRI particularly was a big deal. They don't do MRIs on people unless there's something really wrong. They have done in the last 15 months an MRI on this man roughly 3 to 4 times. You don't do that on someone unless there's a series of problems that are really, really bad. No way in the world Obama had, or Biden had, or Reagan, or any of them had 3 MRIs within 15 months. He's approaching death. It's coming up. It's time.
He's approaching
I said he'd be gone by July. Honestly, if he's gone, and I say this again, J.D. Vance end could be even worse. It's not a time for celebration. It's a time to get ready to keep fighting and keep focused and jump in on J.D. Vance's ass. But here's the real truth about this, and I want you to understand, is that we're dealing with someone who is systematically breaking down. Again, I'm okay. Lifestyle changes I was already doing before, but now it's really happening so I can get better. Everything's fine. But I want you to understand, for me to have this at 55, and then for him to have this at nearly 80, I'm telling you, this guy is in meltdown mode in his.
He said Trump's on his way up out of here. He said by July. Listen, I'm going to go one further. I told you all that I keep having dreams of Trump laying in a box with his eyes closed and his hands folded. Y'all know what that means. So with that all being said, I wouldn't be surprised if it was before his birthday. Okay, I'm so serious, which is June the 14th. If I'm not mistaken. Now, but listen, he's right about the MRIs. You see, for you to have multiple MRIs within a year, okay, in this case, 15 months, he's had at least 3, supposedly. There's something chronically wrong, okay? Because when they have multiple MRIs in a given 12 to 16 month window, that's because they're monitoring something that's already going on. That's not them looking for something. They've already found it. And now that they found it, they've got to keep tabs on it, monitor it to make sure it's not getting worse. And if it is, so they can take the appropriate precautions or actions. Okay? That's what that is. Monitoring chronic conditions. Please pay attention. So something is definitely wrong. Okay? He's definitely on his way out of here as far as I'm concerned. Okay? I'm not having these dreams for nothing. Okay? I'm not having these dreams for nothing. Please pay attention. He's on his last leg. That's all I'm saying. Sad but true.
United States of America, the state of Tennessee is attempting to relaunch segregation. You think I'm fear-mongering or overreacting? They have actively pushed out Justin Pearson, the elected representative for the Memphis area, who is very vehemently against the redistricting in Tennessee. They also laughed in the face of protesters that were screaming at them, "No Jim Crow." The Republican elected officials in the state of Tennessee laughed as they closed the door of the House about Jim fucking Crow. This is Project 2025 in our faces, and the Republicans are terrified of these midterms. The way you know they're terrified of these midterms is because of all of the redistricting, not only in Tennessee and Texas, but also the attempt to go against the people's will in the state of Virginia. In the state of Virginia, the people voted to redistrict that state, and the Supreme Court in the state is now saying it's unconstitutional. However, in Tennessee and Texas and all these other red states, the Supreme Court in that state is doing not a goddamn thing. If you do not at least attempt to go and research the primaries for the Democratic Party in your state and put forward a progressive candidate on the ballot, then I don't know what else we can do besides some actual serious change, if you know what I mean. This is TikTok, but this is my last hope for electoral politics is right the fuck now. I have some really good progressive candidates in my area that actually want to push the Democratic Party to a point that is progressive. And hopefully you can find someone in your area that is trying to do the same and get them into office. Because if we can get enough of them into office in the next couple of years, we might be able to stop the bleeding. Otherwise, we have no other option than to take control of this, our goddamn selves. On today's episode of What the Fuck is...
Okay. Now, this guy is talking about putting sanctions on is not real because we don't know the full extent of their nuclear capabilities, and they won't allow themselves to be inspected.
Israel until they sign the nuclear non-proliferation treaty has gotten some heat from some Zionists. I would double down on that. 191 countries have signed that treaty and have agreed to the terms of the inspections under that treaty. Israel has a minimum of 200 nuclear weapons that we know about and still refuses to sign that treaty. There is no good reason to not sign that treaty. It is in the best interest of all of humanity, and anyone who argues against signing that treaty is arguing against the stance that 191 countries have already made on that treaty and are implemented in that treaty. It is for the best of humanity. Even Iran, the country that we started a war with against 4 nuclear weapons, has signed that treaty. There is no good reason to not sign that treaty. So again, we should be sanctioning Israel until they become compliant and sign that treaty. My last video where I said that we should sanction Israel until they sign the nuclear...
We already know the U.S. is going to do that because I guess they get to do whatever the hell they want. Okay? But Iran is supposedly the problem. Make that make sense. Okay, so now that all being said, let's go to this video about Senator Van Hollen questioning Small Change Patel. Okay? I heard that it got heated. Here we go. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Murkowski. Senator Van Hollen and I are going to just have a couple of wrap-up questions, and then we'll conclude the hearing, and I'll turn to Senator Van Hollen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, Director Patel, I've been listening carefully to your responses to some of my colleagues, and I want to start with a question that Senator Coons asked you that relates to this article where the headline is Kash Patel's latest firings ousted agents with expertise in Iran. The article says that these individuals were fired for their role in the classified documents investigations of Donald Trump. First of all, is that true?
The article, just like all the other articles you cited, is false, and there's ongoing litigation, so I can't address it.
Okay. You did answer Senator Coons, and I understood your answer to be that the people that were fired, that none of them were part of the group that had Iran expertise. Is that your answer?
No, he asked if they were Iran experts. I said they were not.
Were the group fired? Did it include people who were Iran experts?
No.
Did it include people who were involved in counter-espionage activities with respect to Iran?
I don't have the list in front of me.
So you don't know whether or not you fired people with counter-espionage experience with respect to Iran. You don't know the answer to that question.
I terminated anyone and everyone that weaponized law enforcement.
I see. So it was related, obviously, to the classified documents case. So
that's not what I said.
Well, Director Patel, I understood you to say in response to Senator Murray that you've not redirected FBI resources toward the immigration enforcement effort.
That's not what I said.
Okay. Have you redirected resources away from your core FBI responsibilities toward the mass deportation effort?
No one at the FBI has been permanently reassigned on the immigration front. And when we pull the numbers, the FBI's overall operational field expenditures surged periodically for immigration enforcement activities, including the arrest of 2,000 people with direct ties to foreign terrorist organizations, was 2.4%.
So, okay. So the key word there, I guess, was permanently. You have not permanently reassigned. Is that what you reassigned temporarily?
Surges, yes, sir.
Okay. Have you had a chance to listen to or read about Brian Driscoll's statements about what you said to him and the reasons for his firing?
No, I have not, sir.
So let me just say this, Mr. Director. In your response to me earlier, where you had a little bit of a blow up, you made a couple provably false statements.
So did you.
No, Mr. Director, I was reading about and asking you to respond to allegations that are made. In fact, I was giving you an opportunity to do that, and you took that opportunity. But in the process, you made these provably false statements that I know are sort of like urban legend in right-wing media about margaritas in El Salvador, which is provably false. And so coming from the mouth of an FBI director to make provably false statements in a hearing like this is extremely troubling. And it leads me to ask whether or not the other things you've been saying are false statements. And so because that's a provably false statement. You made a couple others that are provably false. And this is from the mouth of the FBI director.
The only one that made false statements is you.
My final question to you, Mr. Director, is do you know that it is a crime to lie to Congress? Do you know that? That's my last question.
I have not lied to Congress.
I didn't ask you that.
Lied to Congress is you.
Do you? And I'm not testifying here, sir, and I don't lie.
Maybe the next time you run up a $7,000 bar tab, we can talk about it.
Well, see, there you go. Lying again. You suggested
in the FEC report. I'll post it right now.
You suggested it was public. It wasn't public money, as you know. That was for a 50-member staff party.
So it was a $7,000 bar tab.
Mr. Patel, I'm glad. Let me just say in closing, Mr. Chairman, two things. I'm glad that you have agreed to take the test regarding, whether you have alcohol problems. I'm glad you agreed with me to do that. You still haven't answered my final question. Do you know, Mr. Director, that it is a crime to lie to Congress? Do you know that?
I do not lie to Congress.
I didn't ask you that.
And you're insinuating that I am.
I asked you whether you know.
You want to correct your time in this session where you got steamrolled by the facts so you can have a Twitter narrative.
Mr.
So you can
Director,
go raise more money and spend more money on $7,000 bar tabs.
Just let the record
I'm not
show,
going to give
Mr.
it
Chairman.
to you.
The director of the FBI apparently does not want to answer the question about whether or not it's a crime to lie to Congress. And I find that extremely troubling.
I find it troubling that you lie to the American people every day.
You are a disgrace, Mr. Director.
Not nearly as big
the
as
fact
you.
that you can't answer that question, I will.
These people are so infuriating. Can you imagine asking them questions, such simple questions, and they just refuse to answer? Like, dude, is it or is it not a crime to lie to Congress? Nobody asked you if you lied to Congress, and then he's doing the same thing that Keg's Breath was doing. Keg's Breath said, oh, you're just trying to have a got you moment to avoid answering the question. Well, it's only a got you moment if you got caught in your lie. That's why he want to answer it. Okay, and the same thing with small change. This is all so sad and pathetic. These people are a disgrace, literally. Okay, but anyway, speaking of cat's breath, someone says he's going to end up in prison. And I absolutely believe that he will. Okay, Trump's not going to be able to save him in the long run.
Seth is going to end up in prison. As the Secretary of Defense, he's trying to take away Senator Mark Kelly's military rank and his retirement pay. Kelly's a retired Navy captain, an astronaut, and flew 39 combat missions. Why does Pete Hegseth want to do all this to Mark Kelly? Because of a video Kelly was in last year, where he said service members have a duty to refuse illegal orders. Yeah, that's it. He said, our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders. Hegseth is calling that seditious and reckless. He's trying to financially punish Kelly and take away his rank for saying that. I fully believe Pete Hegseth is really just mad at Mark Kelly because Mark Kelly is more of a man than Pete Hegseth will ever be. But here's the thing. Go back to 2016. Pete Hegseth himself said this.
I do think there have to be consequences for abject war crimes. If you're doing something that is just completely unlawful and ruthless, then there is a consequence for that. That's why the military said it won't follow unlawful orders from their commander-in-chief. There's a standard, there's an ethos, there's a belief that we are above what so many things that our enemies or others would do.
So it's a brilliant point when Hegseth says it, but it should lower Kelly's rank and income when he says it. Hegseth and the Trump regime are sending a clear message. If you're a veteran and you speak out against us, we can and will come after your benefits that you spent and risked your life earning. Trying to cut the benefits from people, especially people who have served our country, for repeating your own words, not only is it super hypocritical, that's the sort of thing that should put you straight into a cell. Pete Hegseth is...
I hope he does. Okay, I hope he does. And if you notice the thumbnail, okay, Trump sitting there as the defendant, him and Howard Lutnick, with all the lies he told. Oh, I met Epstein. He lived across the street from me. The first time I met him, me and my wife had a discussion, and I knew that was the last time I would ever talk to him. Isn't that what he said? Only to find out that he and his wife and sons, mind you, went to visit the Epstein Island. Okay? And this was in 2012. After it was already a known fact amongst certain people that Epstein had been arrested and jailed and got that sweetheart deal in 2008. Okay, so these people are just liars who lie. I just hope they get consequences for their nefariousness. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about this woman by the name of Melissa Samnath, okay, who was living in New York and went to Jamaica on vacation and turned up dead. And they say that it's her husband who did it. That's what they're saying. Now, let's get into it. Hold up. Okay, here we go. This is all very concerning. I'm going to share my screen. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Now, here we go. So, this is what they say. She landed in Jamaica to celebrate her 37th birthday, and within hours, her family was getting terrifying messages begging them to save her. 36-year-old Melissa Carey Samnath from Queens Village, New York, sent frantic WhatsApp messages to her loved ones saying, "Call the cops." She even shared her live location to what she described as a pink house. That would be one of the last times her family heard from her alive. Melissa was later dropped off at a hospital unconscious in a wheelchair and covered in devastating injuries. Doctors pronounced her dead shortly thereafter. Authorities say she suffered multiple blunt force injuries to the head. Now, police later found blood, her suitcase, and her iPad at a home in St. James, Jamaica. Now, investigators are searching for Dane Watson, also known as Duddy Dane, a man Melissa reportedly married just months ago after meeting online. And according to reports, his own mother allegedly called Melissa's family, claiming that her son confessed to killing her before abandoning her at the hospital. Imagine being her family, watching those messages come in, seeing her location, knowing she was scared and begging for help in her final moments. She went there for a birthday. She never made it back home. Authorities are asking anyone with information on Dane Watson's whereabouts to contact the Freeport Police Station at 876-953-6191 or call 119 or 311. How many more women have to lose their lives before people start taking online relationships and warning signs seriously? Yeah, I try to tell you all, but y'all don't listen to me. Okay, y'all don't want to listen to the queen, honey. Somebody, in fact, told me that I was old-fashioned. Someone, in fact, told me that I was old-fashioned when I said y'all need to stay away from those online dating apps. Like, it's all dangerous. It's a breeding ground for killers. And even serial killers, okay? Now, here's a report from People. 35-year-old woman died while celebrating her birthday on vacation. Now a search has been launched to find her husband. So this is like the same scenario with Ashley Janae. Okay, now a woman from New York was allegedly murdered while celebrating her birthday in Jamaica. On April the 29th, police were alerted that a woman identified as Melissa Carey Samnath had died shortly after being dropped off at Cornwall Regional Hospital and St. James. The Jamaica Constabulary Force gave this information and details to people. Now, an investigation revealed she had been assisted to the hospital by Dane Watson, whom she is believed to have been married to in December of 2025. Police are now attempting to locate Watson, who is a person of interest in connection with the murder investigation into her death. Now, a post-mortem examination carried out on May the 6th determined that Samnath died as a result of multiple blunt force trauma to the head. Evidence related to her death has been retrieved from a premises in Norwood, St. James, according to Jamaica Constabulary Force's news release. Now, with that all being said, detectives allegedly found her belongings alongside pools of blood in the property, despite neighbors claiming they didn't hear any screams or signs of distress coming from the home around the time that she's believed to have been killed. Shortly before 11 p.m. local time on the night she arrived on the island, Melissa allegedly texted her relatives in New York, pleading for them to contact the police. Now, the last message they allegedly received from her said, "I need you to call the cops. Look at my location." Okay, it was just over an hour before her birthday. According to the Glenner, which is a publication, a news publication, Samnath's niece was among the family members who identified her before an autopsy was conducted. She didn't deserve that. This is what her niece told the outlet, adding that her aunt was one of the most loving persons ever. This is all sad. Okay, this is all sad. Now I'm going to go to this news report. Please like and share. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. The police have made a breakthrough in the case of the death of a female U.S. citizen. The woman, identified as Melissa Samnath, was left at the Cornwall Regional Hospital unconscious and in a wheelchair by her alleged attacker in April. Now, following a post-mortem a few days ago, the police are now searching for her Jamaican husband. We have the details in this report. Melissa Samnath in happier times. The 37-year-old American national came to Jamaica in April to celebrate her birthday. Little did her family in the U.S. know she would not return. On her birthday, April 29, she was found in a wheelchair at the Cornwall Regional Hospital, unconscious. There were also visible marks of violence on her body. By the time medical personnel got to her, she was pronounced dead. According to reports, she was taken there by her Jamaican husband, who police have identified as Dane Watson. He fled after taking her inside the medical facility. The couple, it's understood, met in September 2024 and reportedly got married in December 2025. Sources described their relationship as tumultuous. Before Samnath was killed, she'd been staying at an Airbnb in St. James. Her sister believes she was taken to Watson's home by force.
He kidnapped her from her Airbnb and then took her to his house. But yeah, and that's where they also found her belongings, her suitcase, her purse, her iPad, and her duffel bag. So they recovered all that stuff from his house that he was staying at.
Okay.
Okay.
That's crazy.
And he also stole her cell phone. So they weren't able to recover the cell phone, but he turned it off. So I don't know at this point. We were unable to locate it, of course, but they were, and her laptop he took as well.
She further revealed that on the night her sister was killed, she received a disturbing text.
She texted me back around 10:46 and told me to call the cops and to call one of our friends. And she told me to look at the location on the iPhone because we share locations, and it's a pink house. So I told her, okay. So when I checked the location, she was not at the location where her Airbnb was. She was taken somewhere else, which was nor would.
And if that wasn't frightening enough, the suspect's mother, who runs a popular restaurant in the parish, reportedly told the family this.
His mother had called and told me that she heard from Dean and that he told her that my sister is either in the hospital or a morgue. That's what he told his mother. So his mother was the one that was calling, and she was communicating information, because when I couldn't get in touch with my sister, she was the next person that I called.
The family are also raising questions about the marriage.
It's not confirmed. I don't know that my sister was married to him or not.
A post-mortem conducted on Samnath's body revealed she died as a result of multiple blunt force trauma to the head. The family was present to identify the body. Now that process is over, the body will be flown back to the U.S. They're offering a reward for Watson's capture.
He needs to do the right thing, because she didn't deserve that. And now that we lost her, he needs to get caught, and just whatever price that comes with, it comes with that, because we can't just have him out there, and he did a horrible act of violence to take an innocent life that you should not have taken, because you're not God and you don't decide that.
The police are also urging Watson to turn himself in. Sources say this is not his first run-in with the law. Anyone with information on his whereabouts can call the Freeport Police at 876-653-6191, Crime Stop at 311, Police Emergency at 119, or the nearest police station.
I forgot I was muted. Okay, with that all being said, very sad set of circumstances. Prayers, and condolences to her family, friends, and loved ones. Absolutely sad. Now, hold on, because I want to see what's going on with this antivirus. We got to stay up to date on that. So 7 minutes ago, more antivirus cases expected, according to the WHO chief, World Health Organization. Okay, here's what they say. And then somebody did a video I saw earlier where they were saying that they're supposed to be making a vaccine. Okay, so 18 Americans who were aboard the cruise ship at the center of the deadly hantavirus outbreak are being monitored at health facilities in the United States on Tuesday. Now, one passenger is at a biocontainment unit at the University of Nebraska, while 15 others are quarantining at the university's National Quarantine Center. Okay, and then 2 passengers, including one who is symptomatic, have been sent to a biocontainment unit at Emory University in Atlanta. They always got to send them here to Atlanta, honey. Y'all know this because we have the CDC. Anyway, and Emory, which is one of the best hospitals in the country, if you ask me. But anywho, the symptomatic individual tested negative for the Andes variant of hantavirus. That's the only type of virus known to spread from one person to another. Now, over the next several days, passengers will undergo an initial health assessment and receive guidance on next steps from the CDC experts. This is according to John Knox, a top official at the Administration for Strategic Preparedness and Response. Now, the risk to the rest of the country remains low, according to Administrator Brian Kristen, an Assistant Secretary at the Department of Health and Human Services. Okay, now with that all being said, I hope they're right. They go on to say that a total of 11 people around the world have had either confirmed or suspected cases of hantavirus tied to the cruise outbreak. World Health Organization Director General Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said at a Tuesday news press conference that the number includes the 3 people who have died from their infections. Now, Gebreseus said that there may be more cases of hantavirus than the initial count due to interactions between passengers before the first cases were confirmed. The incubation period is also 6 to 8 weeks. I thought it was about 14 days, like 2 weeks, but it's 6 to 8 weeks. So because of the interaction while they were still in the ship, especially before they started taking some infectious prevention measures, we would expect more cases, he said. This is bad news. This is bad news. Now they go on to say health officials in Kansas are monitoring 3 residents who had high-risk exposure to someone with a confirmed case of the Andes virus. Okay, according to the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, this was reported today. Citing the CDC, the department said the 3 were considered high risk because they were in close contact with an infected person showing symptoms while traveling. The 3 individuals in Kansas were not aboard the cruise ship and are not currently experiencing symptoms. So they weren't on the cruise ship, but they still have symptoms. Based on our current knowledge of Andes virus, individuals are not considered infectious to others unless they become symptomatic. Well, we know that one of them is already symptomatic, according to the reports, one of the ones here at Emory. Okay, there are no suspected cases of the virus in Kansas, and the risk to the public remains extremely low, according to the department head. 3 people who are possibly exposed to the hantavirus are under monitoring in Washington, according to the state health department. And 2 of the King County residents sat next to an ill cruise passenger who later tested positive for the virus on an airplane. And this is according to the health department. While another was a passenger of the MV Hondius itself, the cruise ship. Now, the 2 people who were exposed on the plane have shown no symptoms and are being monitored at home. Okay, the 3rd passenger who was aboard the ship is also asymptomatic, but is currently being housed in the quarantine center at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. They say even though these individuals do not show signs of illness, we have strong contact tracing and monitoring in place. This is what Dr. Sandra J. Valenciano, health officer and acting director for public health of Seattle and King County, Washington, said. These are measures that have contained the spread in previous outbreaks of the hantavirus, and the risk of this virus spreading to residents of King County is low at this time. Well, I certainly hope so, but what do you all think? What do you all think? D Major says being old-fashioned can save lives. Okay, thank you, beloved. I absolutely agree. I keep trying to tell them about these online dating sites, but they don't want to listen. Okay, we've heard all kinds of nefarious stories, but still they continue. Okay, so thank you for your insight, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, listen, I'm going to close out this broadcast because I have some things to do, but we're going to talk about that MAGA influencer machine, okay, that was fake the whole time. What she had to say about it. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Okay, so with that all being said, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Until next time, beloveds, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks.
dropping receipts on haters. You better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets. We only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got